Greetings to all of my loved ones. Welcome back to another episode of Healing Wisdom with me, Empress Oracle, your favorite, sexiest, realist spiritual advisor. On behalf of Starseed Galactic Federation, I have been given access to this knowledgeable information from my Akashic records for the purpose of helping humanity. This information has been given directly to me as a divine channel, and any use and or reproduction without the proper acknowledgement or accreditation from where it was received will result in instant karma for the plagiarizing parties and or individuals. And so it is. Okay, guys, you saw the title. This topic right here was requested by a young lady. Thank you for your suggestion. And it is about abandonment issues. Now, I don't recall if I've ever made a video specifically about abandonment issues, but I know that I have made videos pertaining to that genre of subject. But we're going to touch on this again because that's a very good topic, and it really does need to be talked about because more people suffer from abandonment issues than we realize. And due to the fact that minorities tend to have less access to mental health, mental facilities, proper medical care to include mental health, it's harder for them to understand when they're displaying symptoms or they have abandonment issues. And 9 times out of 10, it's also because the environment that a lot of people grow up around, unfortunately, a lot of people are used to losing things and losing people before their natural time to leave them. And unfortunately, regardless of who you are, if you have an unplanned separation from a person, a place, or a thing that plays a significant part in your life, or that you have an emotional attachment to, if you don't address it, if you don't properly heal, if the parting was not peaceful and or mutual, 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up with abandonment issues. And a lot of people, as I said before, they don't recognize it. And sometimes it takes, when they get with somebody that they really love, that person can trigger those issues, right? And I'm going to tell you, personally, I have been in relationships with men who suffer from abandonment issues, and I'm not fully sure if they recognized at the time that that's what it was, but they did understand that I triggered them when they were not doing what they were supposed to do, and therefore that invoked, their fight or flight instinct is what I'm going to say. Because a lot of times when people are in high intensity situations or moments of crisis, that's going to activate their fight or flight instincts. And of course they want to fight. They want to fight to keep you there, right? And that's because you're triggering an issue. And a lot of times it might not even necessarily be you that they're trying to hold on to. It may be the energy that you embody. Let's say, for example, if you're dating somebody who may not have a father figure or may not have a mother figure, 9 times out of 10, they are going to have abandonment issues, especially if that parental figure was in their life and ended up out of their life suddenly, traumatically, dramatically, anythingly, right? So that's something that we need to understand also too. Sometimes it's not even you that person is afraid of losing. Sometimes it's the space that you fill. Sometimes it's the void that you fill. That's why it's very important to know who it is that you're with, okay? Because a lot of people suffer from abandonment issues, and a lot of times that traps people in relationships because they feel as though they don't want to trigger that person, or they are trauma bonded with that person because they say, oh, this person has lost this person in their life before. I don't want them to lose me. They've lost so many people, X, Y, and Z. But what we have to understand, guys, is nobody is down here living a life without design. Meaning that basically everybody's life was planned before they came here. And if, unfortunately, something drastic takes place in life that you feel like was not a part of your life story, it's there to help you. It's there to be a lesson. It's there to trigger certain responses and certain emotions so that you can deal with that, so that you can move forward in a higher vibration and have a better perspective on life. And that's the thing. What people need to understand is we are adding on more issues to ourselves because of abandonment. What you have to realize is sometimes things have their season, and you have to understand that everything is not meant to be in your life forever. You have to understand everybody is not meant to be in your life forever. And sometimes that also can include the ones closest to you, which are family members, best friends, your peers, the people that you grew up with. Now, it's hard for people to let go, but the easiest way for people to get over their abandonment issues is first and foremost to go within and to heal and to understand that when a person abandons you, abandonment means somebody leaving you without prior notice, suddenly, dramatically, traumatically, whateverly, like I said. But what you have to understand is when somebody abandons you, don't blame yourself. It's not you. There is an issue within that person that was triggered being around you. Okay, that's what we need to realize. People tend to abandon things when they are triggered, the fight or flight response. So instead of you blaming yourself and saying, what did I do wrong? Woulda, coulda, shoulda, if I'd have just did this, if I would have just did that. What you have to understand, if somebody has traumas within them, if somebody has unhealed traumas, if they don't address those issues, it's going to feel like you're walking on eggshells every time you're around that person. Anytime a scenario that's similar to whatever it is that traumatized them, you're going to feel at odds with that person. And that's not fair to you. That person needs to heal. There is something within that person that is wounded and they were not able to stay around you. They were not ready to address it or whatever it is, or they may just be running from whatever the issue is. And unfortunately, everybody is not mature enough to understand when they have inner issues that are triggering them and making them react negatively towards others. So you should not blame yourself. Okay, we have enough issues going on with life. Life is hard enough as it is. There's no need for you to wonder and ask yourself why somebody left you, because honestly, that is between them and God. The best thing that you can do is to go and to heal yourself and to realize that it is not you. A lot of times people project onto people, especially before they're about to abandon them, to make that person feel as though they're the one that is at fault, so that the other person is easier for them to walk away. It gives them leverage to be able to walk away. It's not you, it's a projection. So what you need to do is just release that negative energy, release those abandonment issues, go to therapy. People, if you cannot afford a psychologist, right now, I know online, I've seen a lot of different ads pop up for online therapy, and I think some of it is free. Don't be afraid to go and find help. If you do not have somebody that you can confide in, that you trust in, write it down, okay? Write down your issues. The best way, you have to purge. You have to find some type of catharsis. You have to find something to fill your void. But the best thing to do is to find something healthy to fill that void of abandonment. All right, you have to find something healthy to do. Don't go within. Don't go into yourself, become a shell of yourself, and victimize yourself and blame yourself and say, "Why is that?" Da, da, da. Don't give yourself an identity crisis. It's not you, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of us have abandonment issues from childhood, and it's unfortunate. But I can tell you one thing about me, because I've spoken to so many people. And I know that everybody is different. And I know people, some people can go without certain things and they're okay. And other people cannot. And that's fine. Different strokes for different folks. But I have met so many people who are wounded adults because they were abandoned in childhood from the people that they needed the most around them. And now that you are adults, okay, what you need to understand, especially if you had a parent that abandoned you or a loved one that abandoned you, what you need to understand is sometimes these people leave because they know that they are not capable to give you exactly what it is that you need, okay? Some of these parents couldn't even parent themselves. They didn't have a good example, so they run from it because they just don't know how to properly do the job. And unfortunately, sometimes we need to realize that may be a blessing in disguise, because especially if you had a parental figure that was around you that was abusive, that was an addict, manipulative, narcissistic, anything, and they left your life, yes, they abandoned you, but imagine how your life would have been if they'd have stayed and continued to instill that abuse and that trauma in you over and over and over. You would be worse off than you are today. Abandonment issues are a mind thing. They are mental. They are in your head. That's why it's important for you to release it. You can only hold but so many thoughts in your head before you go crazy, bro. Let go of the past. The past is something that is holding a lot of people captive, right? What you have to understand is everything happens for a reason. Look at what happened and take the bright points out of it. Learn the lesson. You know how you felt when you were abandoned, so make sure that you don't do that to others, because it is very common knowledge that hurt people hurt people. But in this day and age, we see how that theory is going. We see where the world is going with this. It's time for us to break these cycles. So instead of holding on to those wounds and wearing them like a cape, instead of being a victim of your abandonment, embrace it, become stronger because of it. Look at the bright side of it. Take the lessons that you learned and try not to do those same things to somebody else. When somebody triggers you, instead of just abandoning ship, take a step back, take a moment and think, why do I feel this way? Why is this person triggering me? Why are these abandonment issues that I had from the past, why are they coming up with this new person who has not shown me any inkling that they're going to abandon me just like the person in the past did? Because a lot of people are destroying or ruining potentially ideal relationships for them that could heal them due to their abandonment issues. We need to stop holding everybody accountable for what somebody else did. That is the best way to isolate yourself. That is the best way to become lost and saturated in your abandonment issues, is to treat people the way that somebody from the past treated you. You know how it made you feel. Don't do it to others. It's time for us to start doing unto others as we would have them do unto us. The world has become way too selfish, and it is time for change. It's time for us to heal these abandonment issues. Like I said before, fill the void with something positive. If you take your mind out of the past, if you become more present, time heals all wounds. The more things that you do to make yourself feel better, the more that you heal, the more that you talk about it, the more that you do opposite of what hurts you, is the more that you heal. That is the more that you heal. But it takes work. Everybody has issues. Everybody has some form of abandonment issue, whether they got dumped, whether they got ghosted at some point. But you can't just hold on to that for the rest of your life. You know, Erykah Badu said, bag lady, you gonna hurt your back carrying all them bags like that. Anybody got time for all that? Drop those burdens. Release those abandonment issues to the universe. Stop beating yourself up about it. Stop asking God why. Everything happens for a reason. And listen, I guarantee you, if somebody abandoned you, although it may not seem like it right now, it was for the best, because they knew that they could not do what needed to be done in your relationship. If they were your parent, they knew that they could not be the parent that you needed. If it was a significant other, they knew that they could not be that significant other that you needed. And it was not you, it was them. Stop blaming yourself. Release that. Release that negative energy and start to heal. Hopefully this video will be the start of your healing journey. And if you need any advice on how to heal through any other traumas, any other toxic situations, please check out my channel. Okay, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok. My link is in my bio. Follow me for healing wisdom. It's to help you guys. I can lead you to the water, but I cannot make you drink. And also on your healing journey, you're going to need to stay grounded. You're going to need to be balanced. You're going to need to protect your energy, because that is how we end up with trauma, because we don't protect our energy, and instead we absorb more of the negative energy. And in order to protect your energy, you're going to need crystals. It's not just for fashion, guys. Crystals have beneficial medical benefits, especially for mental health and energy work. And I sell those on my shop on Etsy, Empress Oracle Shop. That is in my bio also. Check me out. Don't forget to like my video if you received the message. Subscribe and share it to somebody else who may need help. Thank you for taking the time out to watch. I love you all.